Let's start the meeting and we can maybe have a quick discussion about it.
Tell you where.
Welcome everyone to the July edition of Town of Dryden Conservation Board. Appreciate you all being here on a beautiful evening. Barely have a quorum, assuming someone will show up in a little bit. Thank you, Craig, for sending us minutes from our last two meetings. If we should do them more. So, who should I say?
You said me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. I'm sorry. And
That's our favorite.
We'll let it
anyway,
pass.
well, if anyone abstains, we won't have enough people to. So let's do the May minutes first. I didn't have any issues with May minutes. I'll second. Any discussion on the May minutes? All in favor of approving? Was everyone here in May? We were all here. Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you. The June minutes, before we started the meeting, I mentioned to Lauren, I think the last paragraph was a little confusing to me, at least. In regards to, I guess at the end, Craig had said that the DEC had proposed to rehabilitate the dam this summer, and then they put it out to bid, and then the bids came in high, and that's why it's kind of at a standstill now. So I think that last paragraph just needs to reflect that somehow. So Lauren will make those changes. So I guess I will move to approve the minutes as amended. Craig seconds. Anyone comments? Anyone have any other comments? The June minutes, was everyone here in June? Can we all vote on them? All in favor of approving the minutes as amended? Again, unanimous. Thank you. So additions to the agenda, I guess we'll take Anne's little story when she walked in as an addition to the minute. We can discuss it for a few minutes or discuss it in a little bit.
I'm happy to do it whenever.
Well, let's just put it under new business when we go through. I mean, I don't think there's going to be many board report outs, but I know Craig sent an email that they did not meet. Steve, any updates?
No, I was not at the EMC meeting. I was traveling. But they were pretty much just talking about planning for the EMC and what they want to do in the near future. But I wasn't there, so I can't really comment on it.
Okay. I was not at the zoning board rewrite meeting last month. Nancy, who has been attending, I don't know if she was there or not. I know they're not meeting this month. So they're gonna but spring, were you at that meeting? Did you? No.
They didn't have a July meeting.
No, Dan attended
Oh.
that one for me.
Oh, they didn't have a July
They
meeting.
didn't have a July meeting and no August meeting.
No August meeting. Okay, well, never mind. So I guess none of us missed anything. But Spring, while you're unmuted, if you have anything in the town board to share.
I think the Dryden Dam is the main thing. I know we are still on hold waiting for updates about whether or not we have to go back out to bid again for the rail trail bridge. The other,
Is it all the bids were too high? What was the deal with that?
no, one of the bids was good. But apparently some sort of legal T was not crossed or I was not dotted. So they're waiting to see if they're legally allowed to accept that bid or if they have to go back out to bid and then get the same results back, but with all the right T's dotted and I's crossed. That's probably what the problem was.
So the bid
Um,
document that the low bidder submitted wasn't up to snuff, is that it?
There was a change in.
No, I
regulations.
think it was. There was a legal challenge that we may have to go back out to bid and have them resubmit the same bid again. I don't know. They didn't publicly say what it was, if it was like submitted 5 minutes too late or something like that. Those kinds of things can, that's just an example of things I know can have a bid challenged by someone. So I know we're waiting on that piece. The other big thing was there was a presentation this week, last meeting, about the proposed ball field, and whether or not the town was interested in pursuing to see if we could find grant money or grant money to start looking at writing grants to put in the ball field there, kind of between the town hall and the DPW. So there was a presentation on that, which and all the documents are on the website. They made sure to not go anywhere near the buffer for the wetland that was identified. But there's certainly a lot more to look at around that if they can find grant money to then actually do a formal design. That this was more of a scope of concept
Okay, so the conceptual
feasibility
design is
assessment.
available on the website. So it sounds like
Yeah.
the conceptual design is prepared, okay.
Yeah, it's a more of a feasibility study. And
Okay,
then
yeah.
if they can get grant money for it, then it would be a matter of going out for true design work.
Very good, thank you. New business. Glad the tree removal is #1 item on new business.
Right, I've been watching this happen and hadn't said anything because I figured it was all clear and good and probably is, but it's traumatic to watch. One of the, there are 3 woodlots if you follow High School Road, beginning at the corner of High School and Ed Hill, and then going east. There's another one on High School just across from the cow barn, the big cow barn that exists there. And then there's one just beyond the cow barn. And they're pretty well populated, good bird habitat. The 2 on the Beck's property were particularly diverse in terms of younger trees and that sort of thing. The other one, I think, originally might have been planted by Cornell. There's sort of a patchiness with spruce and whatnot, but that's fine. Anyway, sometime this spring, the Beck operation started logging the farthest one toward the east end of High School Road and took it completely out. It's down, it's bare, it's gone. The logs were sold. And there's new, as expected, there's a new CAFO barn going in, but it's actually not going in on that bare earth, which still looks like a bomb site. And so I'm assuming that they're actually going to put in like 2 or 3 barns there and expand, but I just thought it was worth mentioning because it was actually it was a great horned owl, scarlet tanager. I mean, in other words, it had a fairly good mix of large and small trees.
Well, you just named birds.
Hmm?
Large and small birds?
No, large and small trees, because the birds that I just named use
Those.
fairly complex canopy forest.
Okay.
So I never heard anybody talking about zoning or applications, and I just assume everything's completely above board, but it just is a lot of wood. And from a climate perspective, it's a lot of loss of trees, and it's real dry over there right now.
How close is it to Fall Creek?
It's well, you know where the end of High School Road is?
Yeah,
So it's just a little west of that. So
Okay.
it overlooks that slope that goes down to the Nature Conservancy property, which feeds Marshwise into Fall Creek.
Right.
Lauren, could you pull up Google Maps? Because you can see the parcels, and then maybe if you can, and if you could show us which parcel it is.
I'm gonna log on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Wasn't it before?
I don't know. There you go. You should be able to share screen too.
So I take it this is you brought it up before. the
I just
agenda.
brought it up because sort of, by the way, it's just been irking me for months. And I have pictures if anybody needs.
But you
to see
didn't
them.
mention it the other meetings.
No, but you know, I figured it's one of those things, we were talking about a lot of things, and it's not something that I suspect that is any legal wrongdoing. Fortunately, I suspect it's all above board, but if we're
It probably
talking about
is.
zoning regulations and project approvals, this is the kind of thing that turns my stomach.
So which lots are we talking about?
So, let's see here. So we're high, this is the entire, all of that's gone.
Yeah, that's going to.
Everything to-
Right near their farmstead, yeah.
They're expanding.
Yeah, it surrounds the
cool.
barns. The new barn is in here at the moment. All of this was logged, was moved over here. And then the new barn seems to be going, by my, far as I can tell from standing around here, is going in here, and I'm assuming that they probably put in some more new barns.
Yeah, I would think that would be perfectly fine.
I mean, it's their,
It's sad, but it's
their
fine,
land. It's just
yeah,
really sad, and it's a lot of big trees.
yeah.
And
Who
it's-
owns the corner lot, Ann? The wooded lot at the corner of Heil School and Ed Hill, that one.
That actually belongs to the woman who's, so Bud.
That's the one with the flowers.
That's a
right?
Trillium.
Yes, this is the Trillium
It's the
Woods.
Trillium Woods.
So that's
Yes.
That's a heavy spruce and larches. And then the rest of it's sort of mixed hardwood and conifer with, this gets a little lighter over here. This is Bud, and I'm trying to remember his name. He's the father of the woman for whom our house was built. He died recently and it belongs to his daughters.
Okay.
I was trying to follow your finger with the mouse. It's tricky. You're moving quickly.
That's a very nice woodlot. In addition to the trilliums,
a-
there's a huge population of hepatica in there.
It's beautiful. There's
there's
hepatica,
lots.
there's red trillium, there's a big white trillium.
Yeah, that's why it went into the UNA because of the Trillium.
Right. But it's more than that. It's much.
Oh,
I
yeah, it's
think
a
the
very
trillium is
diverse
everywhere.
forest.
It's really diverse wildflowers that I haven't seen in years. Hepatica,
Yeah,
all kinds of good stuff.
so I assume it's still in the UNAs when they redid
He's
it?
quite protective. We have asked.
Well,
permission to walk-
that's separate from whether it was listed.
No,
in the-
I mean, no, I know that, but I don't think that's why she's protective, but she's just protective of the property in general,
Yeah.
so.
Now, how old is she?
Say she's maybe 50?
Oh, good, there's quite a few more years of protection left.
Yes, yes,
Nancy.
but we've asked permission to walk in it before, and just show it to some people, because I have some colleagues who are interested in early spring wildflower relationships.
Yeah, we should take a trip sometimes in early spring when the wildflowers are out. I'm overwhelmed, but
It's gorgeous. And it's full of ticks. Wait a minute.
Well, thank you for that update.
Yep.
I think probably, I don't think there's much restriction on logging and
Hey, Jennifer.
even less restriction on ag practices, so. Craig was saying incidentally, before the meeting started, that new construction, they do have all their stormwater management practices in place and silt fence up, so they're doing stuff properly,
yeah.
which is good to see, so. The reasons we were talking about that was I had brought up a question, well, I'd asked the question of the towning. Well, never mind, I'll get this aside here, I'll bring that up later maybe.
So you're going to the aviary now,
I am going to discuss the Cornell proposed Eagle Aviary.
which sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay,
Andrew, do you have a thought about that aviary? I said it seemed like a good plan to me.
Well, it's been in the works for a while, although been pretty quiet. Came from a large donation to the Wildlife Hospital, and it's in much need.
Yeah.
We're getting more and more raptors in for rehab that then go back out to rehab in hopes to then go out for release back to where they were found. So
It's part of that big complex already.
yeah, it's up. Many of the Baker buildings have kind of gotten dilapidated over the years. So Cornell's been taking some out, and some, I think the most recent ones that came out were actually on the Ithaca line, over the Ithaca line, not the Dryden line. It's just a weird
Yeah,
spot.
but
'cause
they
it
were in
straddles
really
the hill.
bad, really
Oh,
bad
near
shape,
their barns.
like
that
way
I
beyond
saw.
saving.
They were the
Yeah,
barns that were originally built in the 50s when they were studying some of the diseases up there, and they hadn't changed since then. So
right, and
No,
some
I've been in
were-
their attics. They were in really bad. They were in really bad shape.
Why were you in the attic?
Looking at the air handler and fan system, unrelated, different hat.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So now I know you do that.
so in short, it's a good idea and certainly needs to go forward, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna impinge on that forest that would be woods, I guess it would be. It's not great, nothing amazing up there. So. Yeah, I'm all in favor.
Yeah, same here. I am.
Sub amendments,
we're not done yet, Nancy.
just
Are
wondering.
you are you offering to be chair again?
No,
Because I would love it for you to be chair again.
no. I don't
No?
think anyone else would.
But why are you forging ahead?
I'm just reading. I just read out loud.
Thank you. Okay, I'm just picking on you. Does anyone else have any comments about the proposed Cornell Rehabilitation Aviary, or whatever the proper name is? I doubt it's called the Eagle Aviary. Raptor Rehabilitation Aviary? Is it just raptors, or is it all birds? Do we know? Does it matter?
My understanding is it's supposed to be targeted to raptors.
Okay. But I mean, I don't have any issues with it. I'm sure Cornell will follow all the appropriate stormwater regs and other building regs and.
We could put some little wrens in there for them to feed on, but.
I have 3 birds here with mixed feelings about it. They're pro bird, but concerned about raptors. So
But they're gonna be in the aviary, so that's okay.
Okey doke. Well, thank you everyone for your input. Take it away, Nancy.
Well, I'm wondering, what are the sub amendments?
So.
Special use purpose.
Special use permit. So every month, Ray sends an email around
Yeah,
to everybody with a list of
everything that's
stuff,
happened.
everything that's happened or happening.
And I look at it.
And so one of the comments, or one of the special use permit amendments that was listed was for an expansion of one of the storage facilities out by NYSEG. And so it made me wonder if there were any stormwater regulations associated with an amendment. So I emailed our planning department staff, but haven't heard a response yet. So I don't know the answer to that question. We were talking about it before the meeting started, Craig and I. He doesn't know the answer to that question. We hope that
I would think there would.
it would be, but my other flip remark, because I want to make flip comments, is that just looking at the aerials of the site, it doesn't look like there's any stormwater in place for the existing facility. So why would there be stormwater for a addition to the facility? But
So the SUP does require and ask those questions, and we have to answer them. So if you see something that looks worrisome, if you could please reply back that you have that concern to make sure that it triggers full review. That would
well, the concern isn't specific to this project. The question was, is there any stormwater regulation in this town? And if so, are we enforcing it and requiring developers to implement? Because, I mean, looking at this is the site here, I believe, or even the Dollar General. It doesn't look like there's any kind of detention basin ponds behind it. And these are both newly constructed facilities.
Yeah, those are.
What, are those the storage or is it the bolt storage with
These-
the purple roof?
These are the two that are being proposed to
Oh,
they're proposing to expand here. But it doesn't look like there's any stormwater associated with these, and these all went in within the last few years. that
Yeah, I
Dollar
just don't
General-
want to assume in case it's something underground or something. So if you write back with the concerns, then zoning will have, or planning will have to be able to explain to us,
Okay, well,
you know, what the plan is there.
I have a couple of,
But it is part of the SUP.
I mean, there's silt fence here. But there's no obvious basins. So you're saying they do underground storage now?
I've
This place is
seen
pretty-
underground storage done. I don't know if they did it here, but I know I've seen it at, you know, I know it's,
On s-
it's,
Yeah, typically on
it's
small
been done in
scale,
the
like-
world.
Yeah, I mean, typically on smaller scale and residential situations where you don't want a big basin out back, but these types of places usually, I mean, usually it's a big enough area. I mean, this,
Yeah, they don't usually spend that kind of money, but
and I
to
mean,
do
the
something
proposed
like that,
addition
but
is a third of an acre, so I mean, you need a pretty big pond to handle
Yeah.
50-year, I don't know what the storm event triggers are, but anyway.
oh,
the Dollar
I hear
General
you
is not
1,000%.
part of this, right?
So
What was that, Steve?
The Dollar General is not a part of this, right?
So this was more of a general question than just picking on this one SUP. I saw the SUP amendment request. I just looked at this map, saw that, this is the facility in question they're proposing to add to it. It doesn't look like there's any stormwater basin or any kind of detention or retention basin in place now. My question to the planning department was, is it a requirement of an amendment? And if not, why? And if it is, why isn't there any kind of measure in place as it is? And that doesn't, it's just a general question for all SUPs.
Yeah.
This one just happened to be the one that triggered the thought in.
so I think I need someone to explain to me what we're really doing here, because suppose we have another big flood. We've had them in the past. And the idea is that we've created more hard surface so that there's going to be more water starting down. But it seems like if we had a flood like the one we had in the past and they had a basin, it's going to really quickly get overwhelmed. And then the water's still going to go down towards the creek. Now, what is that? What kind of stuff is there behind that? Is that all marsh or? Like, what would the flow be like?
Oh, we go down there.
And it's,
Further down towards Pickney Road and
well, that's Pinckney Road to the left.
Or depending on the slope, it
So
would
it-
go through this little community of trailers here.
Well, it looks to me like it's gonna go down into
So the
the
question,
weed
the
stuff.
question isn't, so we don't need to get into the nitty gritties of this site specifically. My only question was, does an SUP amendment trigger any kind of stormwater regulation? Is there any kind of stormwater regulation anyway? The stormwater facilities are designed to handle that flood flow. Nancy, it might not be the 500-year flood flow, but they have a certain design rain event that they're designed to. So whether it's a 50-year rain event or a 25-year, and those are changing potentially with climate change and everything else. But so it's a moving bar, but they do offer some protection for infrastructure downstream. In this particular case, there doesn't appear to be much infrastructure downstream, and they might have somehow justified it with the planning department that, well, it's natural land and it can handle the flood flow, and that might be fine. But there are other instances where there is infrastructure downstream. And again, if it's this brewer's kitchen and stuff over just next door and their system overflows, it's going to go through this little development. I don't know what this is. Is
I think it's like a small.
is it trailers that people live in? So go,
So
right
is,
through a mobile home
and
community.
is that that looks like the rail trail
This
just
is,
above?
The rail trail's further down, I think.
So if that, something that's going
This is,
across
this
the,
is the rail.
Yeah.
Well, this is this proposed rail trail.
oh, that's the rail trail way down there. Okay, so, because I was wondering if that thing we're looking at with the double
Yeah, I think that's power lines.
is something that's
I'm gonna
raised.
stop
up
sharing this
before
map, because this map
dam.
really has nothing to do with the conversation, it's just.
Yeah,
So, so
you
John,
can't let it go.
I know we've seen SUP amendments, they come to the board for review after the planning board has recommended they move forward.
Mhm.
Would you mind forwarding me the email you sent to the planning board so that if they don't respond to you when it comes to the town, I have that in hand to ask those questions before there's a vote?
Sure. I mean, it was a very simple question. It
That
was
would be great.
Does the town require?
Planning board or planning department, that's.
I sent the email to the planning department staff, so Ray and Gina and Dave, because those are the only three people I know are with the planning department. I know they have a bigger staff now, but I don't know the other people. But I have several questions outstanding that I haven't heard responses to, like the development on Tehan Road, that somebody built a new road up there that I don't know who did. What kind of permitting was required for that? No stormwater management up there.
Do you want to copy me on those emails to them? That way I can pester if I don't see a reply back to you.
Okay.
Just,
No.
it might help.
You know, the town redid Hammond Hill Road and they replaced the culvert on a Class A stream. It doesn't look like they got a permit for that. Did they apply for a permit? Sure wasn't done well. And it's one thing after another in this town. It's really quite frustrating. And we don't seem to care about our natural resources. We just want to get stuff done.
I hear you.
And you can do both. You can get stuff done and still care about your natural resources and do it well. And there are resources available to the town to help them with this type of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a soil and water conservation district that's active in the county and, you know, more than willing to help. There are other folks in other agencies that are willing to help.
And they have done it right in places, but Cascadilla, they did the stream right. Yeah,
Oh, the big one on,
well, it's
Game
not
Farm
so
Road?
big, it was on Ringwood, when they replaced the bridge on Ringwood. And they were saying they had to trap the trout and move it. So,
anyway, so continued frustrations with me and our lack of concern about stormwater issues and water resource issues in the town, so. I'll stop. Speaking of water issues and resource issues. So I know there was a meeting in early July with DEC and town board. Spring was there, I'm assuming Greg was there.
spring wasn't there.
No,
Oh,
this was
All it
not a
was
full,
was-
this
It
was
wasn't-
not a full town board meeting, so there can
Okay.
only be two representatives. You can't have more than two from the town board, or then it becomes a public presentation.
Okay. So Jason and someone else and
Yeah,
Craig,
I am.
Jason, Dan and Craig were there.
Luke Young was there.
Rick was there.
There was 5 people from DEC there.
So the regional director was there, I
Yeah,
understand.
she was there.
so it was more DEC than town people.
Yes. There was 2 people from the planning board that got wind of it. And came in and Jason was like, well, this is supposed to be a private meeting. And they just were like, we're on the planning board, why would you not want us here? Hear what's going on? And finally, he said, well, yeah, you can sit over there. And I'm sitting in the back row. The rest of us were all sitting around the table.
Man, okay, what got covered?
Well, DEC started by saying that the bid came in way high. They only had them 1 million or 1.1 million put into the dam. The bids came in at 3.4 million. They said that's all the money we have right at this time to do a new dam. And as the conversation went on, it became very clear the DEC would just like to give the lake to the town. The regional director said it 4 or 5 times anyway. Why don't you guys just take the lake? You do all the work around there anyway. She said it's listed in our records as a multi-use area. And she said, we really don't have other multi-use areas. So we'd be just as happy if the town would take it and own it. But then the question is the dam. Because the dam doesn't pass inspections now, so something has to be done with the dam if you're gonna keep the lake. So they talked about other possibilities of just taking the dam out, and letting the lake go. But the lady from fisheries finally stepped up and said, I'm not sure if you take the dam out that there'll be enough water in there for fish to winter over in. It'll be so shallow, what's going through. And she said she did a review of the number of the fish in there, a study a few years ago. And she said, I was quite amazed by the diversity of the fish population and the size of some of them that are in there. So she said, it is a good fish area. And she, like I said, she said, I'm not sure. She said, I can't say whether they'd be able to overwinter or not. But she said, it's kind of iffy because it would be so shallow.
Well, if you took the dam out, yeah. If you took the dam out, it wouldn't be a lake anymore, or a reservoir. It would
Right. It'd just be straight.
What I heard that it would go down by 30%. And when I asked Jason, that's what he said. The DEC explained that it would go down. They'd lose about 30% of the volume, but being that it's not that deep, 30% is a lot.
The depth would be very shallow.
It already is, and
Well,
so
yeah,
it would be really
anyway.
shallow.
It's a shallow lake. But
So
if
the other thing I heard, and maybe you can explain, is that the DEC, there were discussions about alternate options, but
Yes.
that the DEC would not approve us to do a less expensive dam because they need fish ladders or something.
Wood Young asked them.
So it's
So
like we either have to go with
yeah,
like no dam or a really high
Can we
tech
do whatever
dam.
we want? And they were like, no. If you're gonna have a lake there, the dam has gotta meet state regulations. Can't just.
Okay, I wasn't there, so I don't know what was
They
explained other
also
than
said, well, you could take the dam out and put a weir in there. At a lower level, it wouldn't hold back as much water. But it would hold back some. And then it wouldn't be classified as a dam.
What's a weir?
The way they explained it, it would be a rock structure. That the water would just kind of flow over.
Glorified beaver dam.
Well, I mean, but a dam is then a weir that's made out of concrete or something, right?
It's,
no.
it holds more.
Our
water.
dam like goes up and down and it's got a fish thing.
And they did say because the dam failed its inspection a couple of years ago, that ever since then, I didn't know that dam even had gates on it, but they said we've had the gates wide open since then, so the water level is down compared to what it was before that, because we don't want it holding back as much water now. I looked it up. In 1901, the dam that was there blew up with the heavy storms and stuff. And somebody went out there and took pictures of the lake and it just looked like a muddy mess. But there was also quite a lot of damage in the village and downstream when it went out like that.
I'm sure. Catastrophic dam failure is never a good thing,
No,
which is why if the town took ownership and had to build it, they would have to build it to
To
safety
specs.
standards.
yeah,
The problem is where do we get the money for $4 million to fix the dam?
Well, even if the regional director said they would like to transfer it, I mean, the town has to be willing. Is the town in active discussion about taking ownership of that parcel, if it's even feasible? I don't know.
I
what
mean,
the-
I asked, I'm not sure that that's like the issue. The issue right now is even if we had it, we don't have the money to replace the dam. We don't have the $4 million. So there needs to be an initiative. In my opinion, there needs to be an initiative to come up with a plan, and then we'd have to find a way to fund it. We don't have that money in the bank to do that.
Is there discussion of cost sharing here? I mean, it's like the DE says we don't have 3.4 million, the town says we don't have 3.4 million. But the DEC has 1 point something million.
Well, and that question came up too. If we took the dam, then we have the $1 million. They didn't say yes right outright, but they didn't say no either. They said, well, that's something we have to think about and talk about.
Yeah, then we definitely would.
We would need 3 million though, right? Wasn't it a $4+
As a total,
million dam?
a
And they only
total,
give one,
Four-
we'd still have to have
four.
over 3 million.
3.4.
So it'd be 2.4 we'd have to come up.
3.4 this year. Next year it will be 4.
Yeah. We think
Any
it's all-
state grants that could be applied for?
And lots of state grants. We discussed that at our last meeting. But somebody asked
Yeah.
yeah, there was something that
And that, no, not anymore, because the application deadline is Friday. I get on my, or
Well,
Thursday.
they did, DEC did also say, maybe you need to contact your local representatives at the state. They're the ones that hold the purse strings. They could possibly find some more money to put towards it. I don't know if anybody's contacted me.
Cornell engineers could come up with a design that would satisfy state requirements and not be as expensive to build.
They were pretty adamant that it would have to be built to the standards that they,
Yeah, to the
well,
standards.
there's standards and then there's the expense of the standards. Or how you, how.
Or
you-
how you meet the standards, and
get to the
that's what I was getting at. There might be a way to meet the standards in some way that's a little less expensive, maybe. Something innovative.
so I went to the last town board meeting. I spoke with the privilege of the floor, and one of the things I mentioned was that meeting with DEC. And I strongly suggested that I thought there needs to be a public meeting where the public comes and hears what's going on. And let the public voice what they would like to see done.
I mean, ultimately, they're gonna be the ones who see what comes of it.
Yeah,
I agree with you. And I think when you were there, it was suggested asking someone from the DEC to come,
yes.
but we already had the deputy director here. The question is, would they even come back? I don't know.
They would come back. I mean, it's still, they're a public agency. It's a public
Yeah.
resource. They'll have.
They would come back.
They would come back. And it's not one and done, I don't think.
No,
I can't guarantee.
No,
they'll
they
come
said-
back, but-
there's nothing imminent that's gonna happen to it.
Unless.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
I believe the lake is critical to the culture of Dryden, and not to mention the environmental, the environmental community and all of our animal friends. But I also know that the money is a real concern. So
Oh, yeah,
I don't think anybody's got a plan in hand on what the next step should be. I think this would be a great thing maybe for this team to really champion how to move forward.
But a lot of people don't know to even think about it, what the plan is, or if they might have money to donate, or, something. So, yeah, making it more public is going to open possibilities, could open possibilities. Silence is never good.
no,
And not advertising what's going on is not good.
No.
There's you know, what is it? There's 30 people who know what's going on and everybody else is totally in the dark and will be very surprised by whatever decisions get made.
Yeah, I know these people at the board meetings.
I mean, even if, I know Gene and you feel, you know, would like to see a river there or stream there again. But I think even that would take renovation. I mean, you can't just let the thing dry into a hard pan.
Oh, you can.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way, if you want massive public outcry, you would do that.
Yeah, that would happen. You know, who might be happy is the guy at the other end.
So what would you guys
Oh,
suggest
he's got a plan.
be done?
He's been up to DEC with his plan for the, for it. He told me he has been. He told me that personally.
Oh, great,
Right, okay.
I'd like to see his plans.
Yeah, me too.
So I guess, spring, if the town has, action items they would like the conservation board to, you know, address. I mean, and I really don't know what the next steps are, if there are next steps, it sounds like it's.
So I'll
deep.
ask that at our next meeting.
You know, DEC had a meeting with the town, it's unclear what the resolution of that meeting was, or what
There
the
wasn't a
next steps, or
resolution.
what the next steps were, and so. Doesn't seem like anything has changed really, so.
They said it came
From what
back.
I heard, it was
information.
information.
They said they were gonna wait to hear from the town on how the town.
So I'll ask the other board members, if there's action items for this committee at the next meeting.
Okey-dokes. Speaking of that area,
The West Lake Road.
the West Lake Road saga.
I had a conversation with Mr. Church a couple weeks ago. He told me, he told Rick, the next thing they need to fill is that other wetland over by across the road.
Rick will do it if you're not careful.
Well, I know.
Isn't there some project we could get him on? I mean, he's got a lot of energy and apparently some
Be
equipment.
out driving.
Got a lot of.
Maybe he could make the ball field.
And
I think-
equipment. We need to use this guy to keep him busy.
Really?
I think he's told him he'll make them.
All right.
But yeah. Nothing has changed down there. It's just growing up some weeds and stuff in there.
So nobody's even putting any plugs or anything in, or,
No,
so we can go dig up some Joe Pye weed at least and go and put that in.
one of his comments was interesting because he still thinks he owns the trail. It's like, no, you don't own the trail. The town owns the trail. But he insists he still does, and he can shut that trail down anytime he wants.
Yeah.
And he said, all that fill that went in behind the house, down in there. He said, yeah, I had 400 loads of fill pulled in there. Doesn't that look better? I said, not really.
That was all DOT though, right? Rumor has it.
Yeah, he said it was state and town DOT that,
They're always looking for a place to dump all their ditch spoils.
Yeah.
and Anyone will take it.
but he said they put in about 400 loads in there. That's a lot of fill.
There's a lot of film. I don't know.
Geological change.
It'd be interesting to see what it's like.
That was all on floodplain too. I mean,
If there's that much fill around, maybe we should have some sort of an earthen dam be built there by
yeah, exactly.
ditch digging.
I think it was proposed.
Yeah, it was, and they said.
You were there. I asked about that myself. That was a
I
no,
think-
right? Because it
think
doesn't
they
have the
asked if-
fish.
Somebody asked if they could do a dam like they did over on Virgil Creek, that earthen dam with you know, small sluice, that sluice going through, and they said, no. Can't have that, there,
Is that because there's too much water?
too much water.
Oh,
But I mean, the Virgil Creek Dam is it's a dry dam, there's no water
Yeah.
behind it, so it's just.
Only when we get a lot of rain and then it builds up, but then it goes right out again.
You wouldn't want that at Dryden.
No.
Cause then it wouldn't be a lake anymore.
Yeah. It'd just be running through.
I think there's a kettle hole in there myself, but we'll never find out.
Really?
Sure.
Get Dan, what's his name out there to do a drill?
Dan, what's his name?
He's
Yes,
drilled all the way through the Owasco Lake Inlet, looking for some ideas that he has on
Dan
glacial.
Carrick? No,
No,
Dan with
Dan,
the USGS?
no, he's Cornell,
Oh.
he's probably stopped this because first of all, he was retired a long time ago and we were really worrying because he was putting out these things and then going out in the middle of the lake and drilling and he's good at coring, but he's.
Sounds like Dan Carrick.
Yeah.
Short guy,
Yeah.
Chalk
yeah,
white hair.
Slight,
yeah.
slight, but very,
racer canoer guy?
he might have been.
It's Dan,
Wasn't
it's
by the
Dan
time I
Carrick,
saw him.
retired
Garrett was
geologist.
on this board for years.
It's
Yeah.
Dan Carrick.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
Recognize his last name, it's not nice.
A-R-I-T.
What did he want to do with the cores? What was he looking for?
He has ideas, I'm gonna have to backtrack in my mind about ideas about. Exactly how the glacial run, how the glaciers ran through here, and it depends on where you're gonna find any organic material, and getting down below the organic material and looking at what's there.
Hmm.
So he's out in the middle of the Owasco,
Oh, because he's assuming that the glaciers totally scraped off any organic material.
well. Yeah, at that point, but then there's been a lot of silting in, so you have to get
Right.
below what's.
Below that.
Current stuff and get down, and he was having trouble getting that deep. But he was going out there sometimes a year, and we were definitely worrying. Because it's not very deep out there, but
So he wanted to know how far down the glaciers took it?
it's more complicated than that, and I don't know enough about the glacial. Patterning here and.
Yeah, because it's more than one set of them, so.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I think he
it's
was
not
more
as if-
interested, he was more interested in older glacial.
Yeah, really, I mean,
events, like
we're
not,
talking-
not our most recent glaciers, but the ones preceded then, and different stratigraphic.
And I'd have to know a lot more than I know about
Yeah.
glaciation patterns. To tell you,
Anyway,
I tried very
so I'll see if Dan wants to come out of retirement.
find that,
He's not a resident anymore.
He's in it.
No,
Where is he?
I'm not at liberty to say.
He was on.
He might be interested in the Cornell Earth Source Heat website. I know when they dug that test well, I think at every few inches, every bit of soil was taken and logged by the geology department and the engineering school, because they learned so much about what's underground in our region, that because they hadn't dug that deep before.
Mhm.
So he might find that an interesting website because they've made all that information public.
Do you mind sharing a link to that, Spring, if you have it handy?
it's,
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Because I can look it up too. Thank you,
Why do we
Um,
have Westlake Road on here?
because we just talked about it. Craig asked to mention. it.
Well, that was the guy who
Yeah,
wants to.
zoning rewrite, we talked about the RYC, we talked about newsletter submission.
newsletter submissions, and then. Lauren shared the. Document about communications. Too,
Long time ago. I don't remember why.
well, it's.
Oh,
it's
the,
what-
Because Naomi,
newsletter.
right,
That was just twigging me as. Related and somehow to newsletter submissions, which she was gonna.
it's our outreach section, we should just call it outreach, I mean, monthly outreach update.
Oh, she's not here.
Who's not here?
Do I have to fill this in only?
Naomi's here.
She's on there.
Oh, is she?
If I want to.
Oh, there she is.
I'm here, sorry.
Great, so I'm just not reading, I'm just looking. Literally.
So I don't know if you remember, Naomi, but you were voluntold that you were just an outreach coordinator. You seemed excited about it.
Yes, yes, I
Lauren-
was. Sorry, I'm listening very intently. My phone speaker stinks.
Lauren did send out some guidance about social media stuff. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't find them.
I'm so sorry. My phone is being beyond difficult today.
Communications policy is what it was called.
So basically, I talked with Cassie, who is sort of the administrator for the town's social media presence. And she asked me, did the conservation board want its own? In which case she would have to be the administrator, but can assign people to post. Or did Naomi want to send Cassie stuff that she could post on social media? So I think that was one of the questions I sent in my email that accompanied that the communications policy.
Right, it
But
was the 23rd.
As the administrator, she'd basically be a moderator.
But all in all, the Cassie as a town employee
Right.
would need to sort of establish ownership of that
Right.
social media
Yeah.
presence, and I think that's what it is. But it can be done. That's the. So, did you want something that was specific to conservation board, or something that is gloms into the general town?
Naomi, what do you think?
I would be fine either way. I think both of those would be very useful. I do think that if we push through the existing social media that we do have, then maybe we should try and come up with some more ways to get that engagement. Because if we started our own, we would definitely have to work on, or at least I would work on, ways to include our public to actually follow us and see our posts a bit. But that does come with time, the more you push it, the more we talk about it, the more we actually have posts out and do events, I think exponentially. I guess it's up for us all. I do it through what we have right now, or should I work on creating a separate platform?
If you don't mind doing the heavy lifting, I think our own identity is better than just being, a subunit of the town. Not that, we would still be identified with the town, and it would, we'd obviously link to the town in all our posts, but it would just be more visibility for this board as a board, and the conservation issues in the town, and it's still the Cassie would still be the gatekeeper, and then it'd still be. We're still part of the town, but I think to me, it makes sense to have it as a separate entity.
Yeah, I think it's more relatable for people.
And Cassie, as administrator for both, can share certain things from the conservation board's page
Repost, right?
that with the town on the town page.
Yeah.
So Naomi, I can do you want to? I'll have Cassie reach out to you. So
Okay.
that you can hash things out, and I don't know which. I mean, we just have a Facebook page right now, but TikTok, Instagram, anything you want. Again, she'd have to create, and we can she can definitely do it.
That would be awesome. I did start well, it's a rough draft so far, so I don't know if I want to show it yet, but I started drawing a logo that we could use for our Dryden Conservation Board social media as like at least a profile picture or an initial post to put our name out. It's very plant-based and kind of simple, but it'll at least be a start. And then maybe we could all, at our next meeting, kind of brainstorm ideas of what would be some initial topics we want to do. I do have a list of some engagement ideas that I think would be a good start, but they're very rough. I would love your guys' opinion on what you think, how we could cater these events to make them a little more, publicly accessible and opening. I do want to focus on making this a positive engagement thing where people want to pitch into their community and learn about what the Dryden Conservation Board is doing and, and care, show up.
Yeah, it would be a good place to also post things that are going on with the sorry, Carbon Smart, I'm getting the wrong word, Carbon Smart Task Force, Green Smart Task Force. And the Rail Trail Committee and things like that. That would help you gain some. That would also help gain some viewers. The other thing, and if you want to talk offline about it, I've been responsible for Facebook posts, Facebook sites before that are not personal. So there's some lessons learned I've had about some of the settings. So if you wanted to talk about it, especially since you said keep it positive, because you'd be surprised how many people will hack or post things
people get
on
very
your site
negative
that
online.
aren't cool. So
That would
happy
be
to talk about
awesome if
that
we could
offline
talk
if you
about that,
want.
because I have not run
Yeah.
a social media for another group. I've definitely picked up and paid attention to a lot of the ones I follow and kind of how they successfully put out those narratives or how I think they could do better, but that'd be really helpful.
Yeah, I'm sure the Climate Smart group would be happy to help provide some ideas and thoughts too.
Nice.
We've got students working with that board. There'll be, I say there are two high school students working with the board, with the committee, the Climate Smart Committee.
Okay.
And they're going to be new because everybody's getting replaced this year, but they would be undoubtedly would be interested.
I was gonna say, I was considering reaching out to the high school. I definitely have a teacher or two that I think would be a great reference and would really put the word out to a lot of events that we do host and getting that younger area of kids, even if it's like a volunteer hour that they get to put on their thing, it gets them there. And the more they enjoy it, the more they care and remember it and tell people and show up the next time and give us ideas and comments and all of that.
Right. Good.
Nice.
Can we have a high school student on as a
I'm their resident.
member?
I don't think there's an age, there's to be 18 to be on the board.
To be, I mean, could you be on the,
I mean, the Climate Smart,
we have
they're
two.
not 18. But I think the parents had to sign off.
Right.
I'd be fine with it.
I mean, I think it would be, the kids are really enthusiastic and they, at least it gives them some credibility too for projects that they try to start at the high school.
Naomi, you also might find some surprising champions at the Varna Fire Department, volunteer fire department. That's a very engaged group, and they have quite a few college students. But I think it would be great to see cross-pollination, so to speak, between organizations like the fire department and conservation groups, which are groups that I don't think people typically try to join forces with those. And it'd be great to see fewer silos. So that might be some good partners over there.
That's a great suggestion. I am, as much as I can, I would love a lot of the initiative to be including different sectors of our community, whether it's, an open forum, sit down of science and religion, with the Freeville Church or the Dryden Church. I want that open communication line. So that's awesome I'll reach out to the Varna Fire Department. And Climate Smart. Right. Sweet. I think we will definitely make some awesome headway pretty quick. People are on social media more than they do anything else with their life. Yeah.
Do we have any graphic designers amongst us? If you need help with your logo?
I actually do have a very close friend that went to Dryden with me, and she just graduated and she's a graphic designer. So if mine turns out awful, I will be contacting her next.
It's not
Um,
awful. It's the seed that's gonna generate something lovely, I'm sure.
Say I'm
It's not a bad thing to do a competition for either and say,
true.
you
Very
know,
true. Get some people involved.
Everybody who submits one, whether you win or not, will post your design and give you attention or something. And you'd be amazed what people, I don't know if we're allowed to give prizes, but you'd be amazed what someone will do even just for free coffee. Because it's really the thrill of winning that will
Exactly.
motivate people.
Yeah.
Well, these
I
guys
like
have
that.
portfolios, so it's, it can get real important.
That would be really cool to get some people pitching in. If not, I can draw it, but the media I'm working on, it's not my usual base. It's a lot different.
One of the agenda items in a past DRYC meeting was logos for that group.
Yeah, they've been working on that.
And I remember reading, reading that there's a trend towards advisory groups having their own identity through logos. So that would fit in with what Naomi's saying.
Yeah, that'd be super.
Are they specifically looking for someone to do these, or just they're talking about creating their own? And
DRYC already has I think they've made their selection. Because they're aligned with Tompkins County, but
How did they get it?
there's I think the
One of the
director of
members.
youth services
Yeah.
is
Is a graphic
is
designer?
frequently there.
Okay.
And I guess she arranged it, but there's nothing stopping the conservation board from having its logo.
Well, Naomi's working on it.
I was say, do we have any opinions on what we think I should put in there? I did a diagonal based Dryden Conservation Board and like the lettering up, and then the DCB are like highlighted, and then I was doing like little vines around the edge and some flowers. But if we have other opinions, I'll do plenty of sketches.
Well, we talk a lot about wetlands, so.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I just remember when we did the rail trail one, the
that's a good
the
idea.
professional person working with us, well, she's on the trip, anyway, she was pointing out that for logos, simplicity is
Gotta have
important.
it really simple, you gotta be able to know what
And
it is.
it's really good to be able to do it in only 2 colors, so it could be printed in black and white.
It's good to know.
And those 2 things restrict right away. So you want to have things-
Cattail is easily recognized.
I like that.
Yeah, I took it
A
out.
swamp milkweed, lovely.
It's a good idea too.
We have a lake.
Great idea.
Rabbits eat swamp milkweed, I can tell you.
Do they?
Went on a vacation and came back, we had from seed raised 6 little swamp milkweeds, and my 2 other plants had been eaten by something else. We're just trying to come back up, I come back and the rabbit is sitting in there. Anybody like rabbit stew?
I do, and house and pepper, it's all good.
Well, you're welcome to come and gather some.
No, that has to, no, I'm not going to.
It's not happening.
All right, sweet. Thank you. Those are some really good ideas. I will start some sketches.
I think I should go, I just haven't fed solar sun yet. So. More work.
Looks like you could use a new piece of paper.
Well, it's because it was in my pocket and I sweated enough that it got really wet. Because I've been pulling fence all day, so, well, most of the day.
Okay, well, thanks for that update, Naomi. The last item is just newsletter submissions, which I think we just kind of rolled into our outreach. I don't know if anyone has any I mean, I know we had talked in past meetings about having a plant of the month, and I think that was more directed at the social media stuff than the newsletter thing, but there's no reason we couldn't do it if someone's interested in doing a write-up.
We
The
could do,
newsletter on-
what about milkweed diversity? We're in monarch season and just, it's not in my mind, I guess. Because of the demise of my baby milkweed.
I think the other thing's fair game, it's just somebody has to put pen to paper and, or fingers to keyboard and tap something out.
I could probably do something about that.
Maybe we should think about the different
What's our-
kinds. I was up
Just the
at
diversity that we've
with
got.
Ray and he was asking me about, was this the right milkweed? And I was going, yeah, that's the monarch milkweed. So, the fact that there's different kinds.
Well, these swamp milkweed, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's not the monarch milkweed.
No, it's not the typical one, the common milkweed, it's not the typical one, but I mean, we're in an area with a good deal of diversity in milkweeds.
But I haven't ever seen anything eating the dog bane that's in the field,
Yeah. Well,
except my sheep eat it and
Maybe
maybe
I'll
it's
go-
like.
right. Well,
Thanks, Nancy.
let me see if I can. And who eats
I
what?
don't know when Cassie's deadline is, probably coming up.
It's usually right at the end of the month, like
Which
it's
is coming
usually
up.
coming right up.
Yeah.
Day after tomorrow,
Whatever it is, it's a future blog for Naomi.
Can we put pictures in that?
Exactly.
I think we can, right?
I was gonna say, I would also love to focus a lot on local species, invasive species, native plants you can plant in your yard or to, support. I think that would be a really cool
I'll include
Easy
a recipe for rabbit.
educational guide.
Naomi,
will-
you might find it's helpful to like, if you go to like Cornell Cooperative Extension's website, where they already post a lot of that stuff, it makes it real easy because then your blog post can be super simple, like check this out and here's a trusted resource.
I
Whether
like
it's
that.
Cooperative Extension or
Follow it up
others,
with a
but don't feel
resource.
you have to invent the content. You just have to invent something clickable, to make
Gotcha.
people want to get the info.
I like it. It's a good point. Cooperative.
You say Cornell's reputable? Did I hear you say that?
I think Cooperative Extension is very reputable.
I agree.
Agree.
Just make sure that's who you're referring to.
Gene also mentioned putting in something for Bob as well, the request.
Yeah,
for
a new
funds, fundraising.
Yeah,
reminder.
Yeah.
She's out this week. Does anyone have a copy of the original submission?
We can
From this?
I do.
I can let Cassie I'll let Cassie know to repost.
Yeah, she could just do that and if anything has dates in it, just update them, something that makes sense. I think the plan is to probably try to plant in October. Sometime in the fall, after the growing season, so late October, early November, so we have a few months. It'd be good to just remind people to open their checkbooks. And I know I had talked about getting a mini excavator, maybe getting some rock. But I built a rock bench at home, so now I'm expert.
Maybe
So,
Dave Church could bring some equipment.
Maybe.
I didn't get any laughter. Anybody.
I'm smiling, Spring.
I was muted.
Craig's incredulous. He won't drive it that far down the road. Okey doke. Well, thank you all for another productive meeting. Any other business?
Oh, I have something. I do know that the EMC is going to be having a presentation to the town board about UNAs, about the border updates and that. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. Possibly, September, October, November, sometime during that time frame. I'll keep you up to date when I know more about it.
So what's it a presentation of? I'm sorry.
It's the UNA, the unique natural areas,
Right.
border changes.
They have much better mapping now,
Yes,
much better GIS mapping
Cool.
with a lot more clarity.
right.
Super. And I should just mention, while we're talking about presentations, that the Climate Smart folks were really enthusiastic about Tabor coming and talking to however many, but they wanted to be kept in that loop. So Nancy's now exited, but I don't know if she found out anything about our potential speaker.
I had one question. I was pondering over the idea of anything that we would end up hosting and like promoting through our social media. Is there a way to make it volunteer hour like qualified? I think that may drag in more people, especially even younger kids or college students that can show that they showed up to something and, pitched into a community or conservation based effort.
I've done that before, and it was really around like whoever, like if the school's requiring it, then we sign off and say. So
Okay.
I don't think that's an issue, but we can double check.
Okay. Sweet. Crickets.
Okey doke. Anything else? Well, thank you all for.
It's a little too hot out.
Nice and
And
cool in my
the
house.
The Climate Smart group should have done something about that.
Yeah,
We should have.
my mini splits are working really good. I'm nice and
No one
comfy.
listened back in 1988.
Never mind, Steve. Never mind.
Turn the light off and on because they get too cold. And then
Good.
Well, we have brave endorsements for mini splits. Those of you who don't have.
yeah, it's great. They just turn into an air conditioner.
Oh, yeah.
They're expensive to run. My electricity bill's gone up a lot. But I'm cool. Anyway, thank you all for your time. I guess I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
See ya.
It's your
Have a
summer.
good one.
Oh, we didn't talk about canceling August meetings. That's all right. I'll do it by email.
August is going to be canceled.
It usually is. We don't normally have a meeting in August. But anyway,
Busy
we're on
month.
record now, so
Right.
we'll do it. I'll do it by